intriguing hints in the finale, it seems that Moon Knight Season 2 might be on the horizon. But when can we expect it? And what story will they tell in the next installment of this supernatural superhero series? Let's find out. Moon Knight Season 1 hit our screens on March 30, 2022. And boy, did Oscar Isaac do a fantastic job as Moon Knight. It was a total crowd pleaser, and the way it wrapped up left us all craving more. Initially, we thought it was a one-and-done deal, but guess what? That's not the case anymore. And I've got a strong feeling that we might be in for a Moon Knight Season 2. Why, you ask? Well, in the trailer for the final episode, they used the word series finale, but later they changed it to season finale. Now, when it comes to the cast, we can certainly make some educated guesses. Oscar Isaac is pretty much a sure bet to reprise his role as Moon Knight, and we can expect to see more of Marc Spector, Stephen Grant, and Jake Lockley, especially since they made their official debut in the mid-credits scene of the final episode. As for Ethan Hawke, he might just return as Arthur Harrow. Sure, he got shot by Jake Lockley, but we only heard the gunshot, right? So there's a chance he could pull a surprise comeback. And let's not forget about May Calamawy, who's likely to make a comeback as Layla El-Fayouly, now that she's become Scarlet Scarab, the avatar of the hippo goddess Tueret. Now, when it comes to F. Murray Abraham, the voice of Khonshu, the moon god, things are a bit uncertain. He's facing some allegations of misconduct on the sets of another show, Mythic Quest, and got fired from the cast. So we'll have to wait and see if he'll be back in Moon Knight Season 2. With that, let's now discuss a few Moon Knight comic storylines that a Season 2 could adapt. The Trial of Marc Spector, Moon Knight. Marc Spector, a.k.a. Moon Knight, has had quite the journey in the comic books, and his longest-running solo series has given us a treasure trove of storylines to draw from for a potential second season. In all those issues, he faced off against a bunch of villains and even teamed up with heavyweights like the Punisher and Spider-Man. But what really stands out is when he had to confront his darkest past as a mercenary. In issues 15 to 24, Mark found himself in hot water, being hunted down by a group of ruthless mercenaries. Their mission? To drag him to the South American country of Bosque Verde. And why, you ask? Well, there, Mark had to face trial for the murder of the country's former president, which led to the rise of a brutal tyrant. Now, in the first season of the show, they didn't fully explore Marc Spector's mercenary past. But let me tell you, that's rich and uncharted territory within the MCU. If they decide to make Mark, Stephen, and Jake Lockley confront the consequences of their past misdeeds, it could be a game changer for character development. Picture Mark on a quest for redemption, dealing with the ghosts of his past. It's the kind of stuff that makes for gripping storytelling. It would open the door for some seriously intense action sequences as those relentless mercenaries try to haul Mark off to justice. Vengeance of the Moon Knight, Shock and Awe. During the Dark Reign event series, when Norman Osborn seizes control of S.H.I.E.L.D., there's a story called Vengeance of the Moon Knight, Shock and Awe. In this narrative, Moon Knight takes on a more traditional superhero persona. However, his violent methods catch the attention of Norman Osborn, who dispatches the Thunderbolts to eliminate him, leading Moon Knight to seek refuge in Mexico. In this series, Marc Spector eventually returns to New York with a renewed purpose. He aims to make amends and become a more restrained protector of the night, still serving as the Fist of Khonshu, but without resorting to extreme violence. Trouble brews when Osborn sends Bushmen after him, intensifying Mark's inner struggle. While Moon Knight Season 2 may not feature Norman Osborn or the Thunderbolts as primary antagonists, it could draw inspiration from Vengeance of the Moon Knight to integrate Moon Knight further into the broader MCU. The first season had a few playful references, but largely stood as its own entity, allowing Marc Spector to develop independently and emphasizing the unique Egyptian magic aspect within the supernatural Marvel world. Moon Knight from the Dead. Warren Ellis's stint on Moon Knight is widely regarded as a standout portrayal of the character. Ellis, along with artist Declan Shalvey and colorist Jordi Belair, has masterfully crafted a truly captivating superhero saga. They harken back to the classic Villain of the Week format found in older comics, pitting Moon Knight against a variety of adversaries, from street-level thugs to mind-bending government experiments and even a supernatural horde of ghosts. Each issue keeps readers on their toes, never quite knowing what to expect. The series delves deeply into the dissociative identity disorder that's at the core of the characters, introducing new heroic personas like Mr. Knight. When considering potential sources of inspiration for Moon Knight Season 2, From the Dead is likely to be a major influence. Whether the creators opt for a more grounded approach or continue to embrace the supernatural elements, the stories found in this comic arc offer a wealth of material that would translate well to the small screen. They could even take a page from shows like Supernatural, crafting a second season where each episode takes a unique direction while contributing to the overarching plot. Regardless of the creative direction chosen for the upcoming season, it only makes sense to draw inspiration from this immensely popular comic series, which has already had a significant impact on the TV adaptation, Doctor Strange Damnation. Among the options on this list, Damnation stands out because Moon Knight has a relatively minor role in the series. Damnation picks up after the events of Secret Empire, where Hydra's destruction devastated Las Vegas. To bring back the lost souls of the city, Doctor Strange casts a powerful spell, which succeeds but unexpectedly draws the attention of the demonic Mephisto. Mephisto seizes control of the city, turns the Avengers into his puppets, and captures Doctor Strange. To rescue the good doctor, Wong assembles a team of supernatural heroes, including Moon Knight, Blade, and others, forming the latest incarnation of the Midnight Suns. While the specific storyline of Damnation may not be directly translatable to the Moon Knight TV series, it provides a solid framework for inspiration. Marc Spector has already faced significant supernatural threats, but Mephisto would pose a unique challenge. It would compel him to confront diverse mythologies, considering he is a Jewish man with Egyptian superpowers battling a Christian demon. Additionally, introducing Mephisto would give the MCU one of its most formidable adversaries. This storyline could also pave the way for the formation of the Midnight Suns, a lesser-known team of supernatural heroes. Given Moon Knight's previous collaboration with Scarlet Scarab, the next logical step could be to unite him with a group of kindred heroes. Moon Knight, crazy runs in the family. Our hero has crossed paths with a wide array of adversaries over the years, but most of them have typically been of the more down-to-earth variety. However, in his recent stories, he's taken a deep dive into his character's supernatural roots, and Crazy Runs in the Family is one such tale. As Moon Knight grapples with a villain who can compel people to reveal their deepest secrets, another supervillain enters the scene. Khonshu and Moon Knight find themselves facing their most formidable adversary yet, a servant of the god Ra, and with New York City in turmoil, time is running out. Crazy Runs in the Family feels like a natural progression for the Moon Knight TV series. While we've already witnessed avatars of various Egyptian deities like Horus and Isis, Ra has been conspicuously absent. The god of the sun presents the ideal foil to the Knight of the Moon, making it entirely logical for Ra to be the next formidable challenge for Khonshu and Marc. Moon Knight hasn't shied away from depicting the arrogance of these ancient deities, so Ra's sudden shift towards malevolence would be entirely in keeping with the storyline. While Amit poses a significant threat, facing off against the King of the Gods in Ra would truly test Moon Knight's mettle. Well, that's it for today. What Moon Knight storyline are you most excited to see adapted in Season 2?